I would like to call this meeting of the City Council to order, please. Roll call, Madam Clerk.
Councilmember Carr?
Here.
Councilmember Panduro?
Here.
Councilmember Tonneson?
Here.
Councilmember Vaccaro? Councilmember Williams is absent. Vice Mayor Bertani?
Here.
And Mayor Moy.
And I'm here. Our invocation tonight will be presented by Pastor Richard Monrique from Family Bible Church. Hi, Pastor. Did I say, yeah, wherever you're comfortable. Did I say your last name right, or you want to say?
Close, Manrique.
Manrique?
Yes.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you. Let's bow our heads in prayer. Heavenly Father, as this council and the citizens of this community gather together, we pause to give thanks for the blessing that you've given us by your grace and the love for your creation. We thank you for what you've done in your infinite creative ability of knitting us together in our mother's womb, that we are fashioned in your image, and through that act you have given all people everywhere dignity, beauty, and infinite worth. May we bear that image according to your purpose and for your glory and our good. I pray your blessing be upon each one. Father God, you've said that if anyone lacks wisdom, that he should ask, and that you would give it generously and without reproach. And so I ask that you would give those who have gathered here wisdom. We live in a complicated world, and because of this, Lord, these who have been elected approach complicated situations that require foresight that they themselves cannot possibly have on their own. And so I ask on their behalf that you would graciously bless them with wisdom and discernment. May they have the courage to do what is good, not just what is convenient, and may their ears be open to your voice. The Apostle Paul tells us to pray for those who are in authority over us. He said that we should pray that they would be saved and come to a knowledge of truth. And so that I ask that our council members here would receive that knowledge from you. For you are a God who desires all people to be saved, and that this salvation comes only through Jesus Christ, who gave himself up as a ransom. May each city official here come to know you more. And so, Lord, we pray that you would be glorified in the conversations and decisions made here tonight. We pray for wisdom, for knowledge, and for understanding. We pray that your will would be done, for your will is our greatest good. Help us to be good citizens, good neighbors, and good friends in our community, showing respect to all because they bear your image. Thank you again for the council, our mayor, and our city staff, our first responders, and all those who work to make this city we call home a great place to live. It is in the name of Jesus, who desires all to come to him and be saved, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor. And Councilman Tonneson, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we're going to go to council reports, and I'm going to go ahead and start with the man to my right, Councilman Doug.
Thank you, Mayor, and thank everybody for being here. It's always a better meeting when people are here, that's for sure. First, I'd like to say that I had a meeting with Alicia, the CEO of Olay Health Communicare, and they're going to be coming into our area, taking over the building at, they used to be 24-hour fitness over at the mall. Real excited about that. It's going to be really good for the neighborhood over there, and as well as for the people. I mean, it's going to have all kinds of different funding sources, especially for drug medical and which we need. Also, I did attend the Vine to Table event. It's one of my favorite events. The mayor was there and quite a few of our other council people. It was a really good event. And from what I understood, they raised a lot of money for the for the kiddos. So that was good for the coats and shoes. And I think it's one of my favorite events. Also, I did attend my the monthly sewer district. And I've also did 2 now of the JPA Capsolano board meetings, which I don't have nothing to report back yet. Still learning all the complexities of that meeting. And I wish to say welcome to October, even though it doesn't feel like it. It's my favorite month and the beginning of the holiday seasons and everyone. And thank you, Mayor. That's my report.
Well, that was pretty thorough. Thank you there, Vice Mayor Bertani.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming out this evening. Thanks for watching from home. I'll be very brief this evening. I just want to remind everyone of the upcoming Clergy Action Network, or Fairfield CAN, Thanksgiving meal. That's going to be held on Tuesday, November 19th, the week before Thanksgiving, at 1000 Kentucky Street in Willow Hall. This event just gets bigger exponentially every year that we have had it. We started in 2020, and it's bigger and better than ever. So if any of you are interested in donating any turkeys, we are shooting for 80 turkeys this year, and we got that last year, so I know we're going to get it again. But if you or anyone you know wants to donate some fresh frozen turkeys to our event, please feel free to contact Kelly Ballard. She is the keeper of all turkeys for this event, and her number is 707-428-7401, 428-7401, Kelly Ballard. And that is it for tonight, Madam Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Councilwoman Panduro, please.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. I just had one event that I attended, aside from the other several ones that have been already spoken about. But just this week, I went to the ribbon cutting for the 2nd year anniversary of Fresh Laundries. So they are located on 1742 North Texas Street. And so this gentleman, the owner's name is Cleo, and he took an existing laundromat, completely renovated it, and it's absolutely beautiful. High energy machines, modern, so he's really trying to promote the modern part of the name. You can go in and use tap and pay, Apple Pay, your debit card. You could it still takes coin, but he's really trying to, have a broader reach with regards to his clientele. He also has a lot of different contracts, including one with Travis Air Force Base. So he's done really well for himself. So if you have any needs to even just drop and go, or he also does pick up and drop off. So he does provide those services as well. So again, Fresh Laundries on 1742 North Texas. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Vaccaro?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Well, first of all, it's good to be back. It's been about a month, over a month. So, thank you, everybody who, sent me some well wishes. I really appreciate that. And obviously, I don't have a report on places I went because I really didn't go very many places except my house for about a month. So anyway, that's really my report. It's just glad to be back. Thank you.
It's good to have you back, Councilman. Councilman Tonneson?
Thank you, Mayor. I just went to a couple events too that haven't been mentioned. But I want to give a shout out to the PAL Center, and I don't see Chief Marshall in the room tonight, but they cleaned up the PAL Center on North Texas Street, and it was quite an effort. And if you've driven by there, or if you saw before and after, which I think some of those pictures are coming, they did a fantastic job. And I went to the farewell of the KC-10 at the Travis Air Force Base, and that was very well attended. We had a 4-star general that was, the keynote speaker. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people there. So it was, some of them got pretty emotional, but it was a great event, and Travis is a great partner to have in our backyard. That's all for me, Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. City Manager, do you have a report?
Did you have any reports, Mayor?
No.
Okay.
Actually, yes, I do. I was going to let you go first, really, just to be polite. Beauty before the beast. But I just just wanted to talk a little bit about. We had a couple of people in Fairfield, pedestrians, hit with vehicles, and So people look to us and to the police department to fix this. And sometimes, and most times, it comes with people fixing it themselves, slowing down. We cannot have officers on every corner. In fact, you know, neighborhoods will say, we want you there, and then we go there and give tickets. Then they're mad that we gave them tickets because they're the ones who got caught. So October is Pedestrian Safety Month. It's a month for everybody. But our police department put out some tips that are really important. And, you know, some of it's common sense. I mean, honestly, we don't need to be speeding the way we are. And it seems like it's gotten worse since the pandemic. There isn't a neighborhood that I know of in Fairfield where I don't get complaints about speeders, and they want speed bumps, they want this and they want that. You know, I'll tell you, I had a laser because I'd go out there and take their tires out. Did I say that out loud? I did. But, you know, it's dangerous. It's dangerous. We had one person pass, a pregnant mother lose her baby, got hit. It's ridiculous. And I'm just asking people to slow down. You know, you don't need to be going faster than 20, 25 in neighborhoods. So that's what I'm asking. And I do it myself. I can be a speed demon, but I've consciously am making sure that I don't, and I'm asking everybody else to do that. So that was really all that I wanted to say, that public safety isn't just on our cops' shoulders, and government can't fix everything. It's better fixed in your home, in your house, with your family. That's where it starts. Teach your kids how to use crosswalks. And that's it. That's all I'm preaching about. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick shout out and a hats off to our mod team. We recently learned that we won 3 STAR awards for excellent in government programming for California and Nevada. And so the 3 first place finishes were under the categories of talk show, economic development, and ethnic experience. And so I just want to make sure that our whole mod team knows we are appreciative of the way in which they have really elevated our ability to get out messaging and create good programming that helps to inform our citizens. That's all I have, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. And Mr. City Attorney, anything?
I have nothing to report. Thank you.
And Madam Clerk.
Thank you, Mayor. Just wanted to thank Preet Sadi. She adopted McKinley Street. She had seen one of my Facebook posts thanking someone for doing a cleanup, and she asked how to contact me, and then she ended up adopting a street. So if anyone is interested in adopting a street, just Google Adopt a Street Program, City of Fairfield. Thank you.
Thank you. And now we'll go ahead and turn to presentations, Madam Clerk.
Yes, proclamation declaring Breast Cancer Awareness Month, presented by Mayor Moy to Senior Business Development Liaison Kelly Rhodes Poston of North Bay Health and Kenny Horiuchi, Oncology Clinical Nurse Specialist, Nurse Navigator of North Bay Health
Come on
Cancer
up.
Center. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for being here. It's important. Yeah. I won't do all the talking. I'm going to do this and then ask you to say a few words. It's good to see both of you. I grew up with Kelly, so.
Sort of did too.
Yeah. Okay, so this is for National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, which is October. Whereas during National Breast Cancer Awareness Month, the City of Fairfield stands with the courageous women and men who have been diagnosed with breast cancer and honors those who have lost their lives to this terrible disease. And whereas about 1 in 8 U.S. women will develop breast cancer over the course of her lifetime, In 2024, an estimated 310,720 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in women in the U.S., along with 56,500 new cases of non-invasive in situ breast cancer. And whereas about 2,800 new cases of invasive breast cancer are expected to be diagnosed in men this year. A man's lifetime risk of breast cancer is about 1 in 726. About 42,250 women in the U.S. are expected to die this year from breast cancer. Researchers estimate that inherited genetic mutations account for about 5 and 10% to as many as 27% of all breast cancers. Individuals whose family history puts them at increased risk for breast cancer should discuss proper prevention and early diagnosis strategies with their doctor or qualified health professional. And 66% of breast cancer cases are diagnosed at a localized stage. And the 5-year survival rate for breast cancer patient has greatly increased. It's up to 99%. And that's fantastic. At the time of diagnosis, approximately 63% of breast cancer patients have local stage breast cancer, 25% have regional stage, and 15% have metastatic. National Breast Cancer Awareness Month serves to increase awareness of breast cancer and to encourage individuals to have a plan to detect breast cancer in its early stages. It is vital to those affected by breast cancer have access to quality, affordable health care, and research of all forms of breast cancer needs to continue to be vigorously supported. Now, therefore, I, Catherine Catmoy, I'm the mayor of the city of Fairfield still, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2024 as Breast Cancer Awareness Month in the city of Fairfield, and I encourage all residents to learn more about breast cancer and the detection and prevention of breast cancer. And
Amen.
hey,
Good job.
oh, thank you. This is for you all.
So what do we do?
This is a proclamation. You just accept it, but I'd like you to speak.
You're gonna hold it?
That
was awesome.
Go ahead.
And
All
af-
right.
and
That
af-
was wonderful.
I just wanted to say, after you speak, I do want to get a picture of all of you.
Oh, okay. So I am a certified breast care nurse. Who knew? And I've been an oncology nurse for over 40 years. Yes, I did start in the womb. And it's such an honor to be here. This is really huge. The idea of diagnosing early. So there are some women here that might be age 40 on up. If you are and haven't had a mammogram, get it now. It's really important. We're seeing actually over the past maybe 5 years, it could be a little bit more, an increase in younger age breast cancer women. Now, when you see someone who's 24 with breast cancer, and as a nurse for 40 plus years in oncology, I'm starting to see more and more women that are under the age of 50. This is frightening. So I really do want to get the word out because as Mayor said, early detection, 99%. Do you know what that means? Does that mean anything to you? That means if you take 100 women of the same mixture, and they all get screened for breast cancer, and they find early stage breast cancer, that means in 5 years, only one of the 100 women have succumbed to something related to their cancer. That's phenomenal. We don't have those statistics in colon cancer or albeit in lung cancer. So early detection is a huge deal. It's such an honor to be able to be here for this. The cancer program that we run, we have a plastic surgeon, which is amazing for this size of a community. We have a genetic counselor. We do genetic testing. We're a College of Surgeons accredited program. We've got the partial breast irradiation accelerator. I mean, we've got all the things, a clinical trial program. And North Bay Health has been invested in doing this for the community for years. I've been with North Bay for over 30 years, and it's just continued to get better. And that's because we give a rip. I just got to tell you, I wouldn't be with North Bay if we didn't give a rep. Okay, so I thank you for having us come, because making it known to get the word out is huge, and I appreciate you guys. And Kelly wanted me to mention the Mayo network that we have been involved in 10 years. That gives us access to Mayo Clinic, so our specialists can have a little bit more insight into what they're doing for their patients by case-to-case presentations as well as other things. It's really phenomenal. So thank you.
Thank you for your lying about that 40 years. Yeah, Kelly, did you have a few words, or?
No, I'll just sing Kenny's praises. I call her Kenny Encyclopedia. If you want to know anything, pretty much about anything cancer, you can call Kenny. If you can't get a hold of her, call me, and then I'll get you next to Kenny. But
You do that.
anything that you want to know, Kenny is the nurse to go to. So we're very lucky
Thank
to have
you
her.
so much.
Mayor in the middle, come this way.
This way? Here we go. Mayor in the middle. That's, I'm not getting first. I'll take a few. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Good to see you. Alrighty now. So now we're going to go ahead and take public comments. Madam Clerk?
Yes, persons wishing to address the city council on subjects not on the agenda but within the jurisdiction of the council may do so at this time. The council cannot discuss or take action on matters not on the agenda for this meeting, but council members may briefly respond to statements made or questions raised by the public, ask for clarification from staff, refer the matter to staff, request staff to report back to the council at a subsequent meeting, or place the matter on a future agenda. To speak on an agenda item, if you're online, please use the raise your hand feature or press *9 on your phone. Speakers are limited to 3 minutes per item.
All right.
And our first speaker is Leo Callejas. Sorry.
Hi, Leo.
Oh, hello. Good evening, everyone, Mayor, City Council members, and staff. My name is Leo Callejas. I'm a board member of the Solano Hispanic Chamber of Commerce. So I'm here to share some updates and resources and events that we have coming up. But I'm also a resident of the city of Fairfield and a business owner. Just want to extend an invitation to all of you that on October 17, we're going to be hosting a mixer at Green Hives here in Fairfield. So if you haven't get a chance to visit that business, Green Hive Spaces, in Fairfield, this is a great opportunity. Plus, you'll be able to hang out with us and have fun. And we are going to be hosting our gala in a while. I think last time was 2019. And so we want to extend an invitation on that as well. It's going to be soon, but it's pretty close to you all. So we should be receiving invitations. It'll be a Latin Flair Gala. You'll be able to get a chance to dance and enjoy this great food. It's going to be November 8th in Sassoon City, the Sassoon Veterans Memorial Hall or building. Something else I want to share, probably some of you noticed an article recently in the Solano County that a lot of local businesses, especially restaurants, went and spoke in front of the Board of Supervisors about issues that they've been having, right, with trying to compete with other businesses that don't have license and permits. I do want to share a resource that may help with that. The Cook Academy, it's a program that is offering an 8-week program, and I saw the applications were in English and Spanish, so maybe the classes will be in both languages. It's going to be offering to the graduates $3,000 to start the MECO business. This is where they can start a cooking food business from home. So that should be able, right, to help those businesses that are currently doing pop-up, may not have a license, to actually get some resources and training and funding to get some business started or their business started. I know Solano County falls into those counties that can apply, and so many other counties like San Diego, Alameda, basically every county that has a MECO program. So that's all I wanted to share today. Thank you.
Thank you, Leo.
Thank you. Ron, did you want to speak? Just public comment or on an item? Oh, okay. And then item 10 as well? Yes. Okay, thank you.
Ron?
Good evening. So, of course, my phone dies, but let me, Ron Turner I'm wearing another hat, and I'm the president of the 100 Club. We're a police, fire, first responder group, and that this particular month, our organization is having a fundraiser, a bingo game, at the Fairfield Adult Center on the 19th of October, and which is a Saturday, and we would... 19th? And we would like to invite all of you in the public to come support us for this particular fundraiser. And the last 6 months, October.
You know, I was going to say Kelly can send us out an invitation, if you could send her the information,
Yes, I will.
because we're a little slow sometimes.
You're not slow for me.
Thank you.
So the last 6 weeks have been really challenging for us as a nonprofit. Unfortunately we lost a VACVille officer in the line of duty, and that what our club does is that within the first 72 hours we provide a $20,000 check to the spouse, to the wife in this particular case, to address those immediate needs. And so just during that same week, VACVille lost a young engineering tech, fire tech, during that same week. And of course, the club was able to support his family. And then we also received additional bad news that we just lost a West Sacramento firefighter. He had a heart attack while he was at work, Tim Hall, and so that was also one of those things where the club steps up and gets involved. And also, we had a Yolo County deputy who succumbed to his cancer. So with the club covering 2 counties, Solano County and Yolo County, people are recognizing us for the service that we provide, but for us to be there for them, we really need your help and the community's help, because we never know when these tragedies are going to strike. So thank you very much. October 19th is our fundraiser here in Fairfield, and we would love to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks, Ron.
Next speaker is Dave Ennis, sorry.
Good evening.
Evening, sir.
I'm a candidate for the Assembly District 11. My name's on the ballot for November, 5 weeks from today, and I'm here to introduce myself. I think you guys are doing a great job. I'm very much interested in resolving the dilemma between open space and increasing population. That's a tough nut to crack, and I want to assure you that you have more to say about that than I ever will. I think it's important to do all that at a local level. I support Solano forever, not California forever. And my background, civil engineering, planning and business, aerospace, defense, electronics, and automotive. And I've been here in Solano County for 4 years, and I've lived in the Bay Area since 1979. So I hope you all vote early, and I can't say vote often, that's against the rules. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, and thank you for stepping up to do that. Yes.
Did anyone else want to speak on public comment? Okay, I don't have any other cards, and there are no hands raised online.
All right. So we'll go ahead then and turn to the consent calendar.
Okay, consent calendar. All matters listed on the consent calendar are to be approved with one motion unless a member of the City Council or the public requests that separate action be taken on a specific item. I
Yeah,
don't
any
have
pub-
any cards, speaker cards for that.
And anything from the peanut gallery over
No.
here? Anybody want to pull anything off? Okay, then I will entertain a motion to pass the consent calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we've got a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. All right, that was unanimous then. And so now we're going to go ahead and move to new business. Item 9, please.
Item 9, Resolution 2024-240 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield declaring certain real property owned by the City of Fairfield are exempt surplus land. And our presenter is Jennifer Rice, Real Estate Specialist from Community Development.
Support. Good evening, everybody. So I'm not sure if this is on, but I'm loud as it is. Good evening, council members, Mayor Moy. For those who don't know me, my name is Jennifer Rice. I'm the real estate specialist in our economic development division. I'm here tonight to present a proposal for your approval declaring a portion of city-owned land as exempt surplus as required by the California Department of Housing and Community Development. The property in question is only a portion of the subject property on the screen. It is located at 3305 Cherry Hills Court near the entrance to Rancho Solano Golf Course. It was recently determined by staff that a small portion of the subject property, approximately 2,963 square feet, not only lays outside of the city limits, it's surrounded on 3 sides by a privately owned parcel owner and is not needed for any current or future public purpose. Staff is therefore asking for your approval to declare the portion of the subject property as exempt surplus land, allowing us to move forward with the sale of the property. Short and sweet. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Short and sweet sounds good. Do you have any public speakers on this?
No, I do not, unless anyone would like to speak on item 9? No? Okay. I'm sorry?
Is that not a retention pond? No, it's not. It's just a small portion of land just outside of city limits. It looks exactly like everything else out there. Yeah, I think it was somewhat assumed anyway, to be the adjacent parcel owners, and it was just now figured that it's not. It's actually owned by the city.
All righty. Yeah, Councilman Tonneson.
Jimmy, do you have any more questions? Is that landlocked?
We're the fourth side, so yes.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions from council? I'll entertain a motion then to go ahead and approve this. So moved. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. That was unanimous. We're going to turn to public hearings now. Item 10, please.
Item 10, public hearing and resolution 2024-241 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield approving amendments to the land use element and public facilities and services element of the 2002 general plan to support the implementation of the Solano County Middle Green Valley specific plan. And our presenter, is it Jessie Hernandez? Oh, there she is, Associate Planner. Thank you.
Hi, Jesse.
Good evening, City Council members and folks joining us tonight. My name is Jessie Hernandez, and tonight I'll be presenting on the proposed Middle Green Valley General Plan Amendment. I'd like to start with some key background information and context. The Solano County Middle Green Valley Specific Plan encompasses about 1,900 acres of a planning area. Approximately 1,500 acres are designated in this plan for permanent agriculture and open space conservation, and up to 390 homes are planned. This specific plan was adopted in 2017 and amended in 2021. Their final environmental impact report was certified in 2014 and revised and recirculated in 2016. There's a few key city actions related to this plan. In 2012, city staff verified the city's water supply and capacity was more than adequate to meet all of the city's projected needs. In 2022, the city council established a portable water service agreement to accept raw water from the Solano Irrigation District for the city to treat and deliver back to distribution to Middle Green Valley. And finally, as you all may recall, in May of this year, 2024, we heard comments from you all that indicated your support for a service agreement and specific plan implementation at our May 2024 study session on the general plan update. The proposed general plan amendment requests to amend the existing general plan to support the implementation of the specific plan. The existing plan is what is in effect now. The general plan update, for context, already has these exact policies that are being proposed. The applicant's expressed purpose is to avoid uncertainties of the general plan update and advance the project as soon as possible. As I mentioned, these policy concepts were presented to you in May. At that time, you indicated your support. The first policy, again, this would go in the existing plan, is policy LU 2.5. It states, support the Middle Green Valley specific plan in unincorporated Solano County to augment permanent agricultural preservation. The second policy is policy PFS 1.3, or Public Facilities and Services, and it states to support the Solano Irrigation Districts, or SIDs, service to the Middle Green Valley specific plan by contracting to treat SID water supplies that SID would serve within the specific plan area. With regards to environmental review, city staff are relying on the Solano County certified final environmental impact report. The FEIR assess the specific plan's potential adverse environmental impacts, including any impacts resulting from delivering water services. Oops. The Planning Commission received staff's reports and recommendation, and the Planning Commission recommends adopting this resolution, approving the general plan amendment to the existing general plan. Yeah. And thank you, that's my presentation.
Thank you, Jesse. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing.
And I do have 3 speakers.
All righty.
The first one, Nora Dizon, to be followed by Charity Wagner.
Hi, Nora.
Hello. Good evening, Mayor Moy, City Council members. I'm sure this is not a surprise. I'm here to oppose this. As city council members of the city of Fairfield, I believe that your primary duty is to safeguard the well-being of the residents of the city of Fairfield. This proposal is for a project outside of the city limits. And I feel, as many feel, but are thinking that you have made up your minds, hopefully you'll think this over. The city of Fairfield has residents who pay their FMU water bills and their property taxes, and they support this city. These people will be outside of Fairfield. They will not contribute any property taxes. Why in the world are they getting water services from our utility? If you do this, it sets a precedent. So our residents have to deal with the impacts of more residents. That means more traffic. That means more congestions in schools and all the other services. Now, when this happens in the city, you know, we might not care for it, but at least the people who end up in the projects, they support the city. They pay property taxes. There's the FMU fees. And I know they're going to say, yeah, this city's going to charge a fee, but I'm sorry, this is really unfair to the city residents. Here's the other thing. The residents in the area near this planned project pay exorbitant fees for their water. This is the time, this is the opportunity for the county of Solano to figure out a solution that will service not only the Middle Green Valley specific plan, but also the residents who are really suffering because Vallejo is a provider of water.
You have 20 seconds.
And they are just being overcharged. This is the time to make a smart decision that solves a problem for the entire community there. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora.
Next is Charity Wagner, to be followed by Ron Turner.
Good evening, Mayor Moy,
Hi,
council
Charity.
members. Thanks for hearing me tonight. I am Charity Wagner, and I am speaking tonight as a representative of the multiple landowners within the specific plan area that have requested this unique amendment. I've been working with them for about 5 years now, but we all know this project's been going on for decades longer than that. I believe we're in our third decade now. Throughout that time, I think it's fair to say, as Jesse pointed out, there have been several opportunities where the city has stated support for the Middle Green Valley implementation of the plan, specifically with regard to its intensive community outreach, as well as its very extensive commitment to agricultural conservation right on the doorstep of the city of Fairfield, immediately adjacent. Tonight's amendment is a request for the city's general plan to have clear and direct statements of that support for implementation of the specific plan and treatment of water. I don't need to restate this, policies that Jesse had so well laid out for you. I do want to say, though, just a couple things for avoidance of any doubt. These policies specifically state clearly the city's intent to treat water for specifically Middle Green Valley specific plan area, period. It does not allow use of any city water. All water comes directly from Solano Irrigation District, SID. That water is then treated and returned back to the specific plan area. Only that particular area. All treatment services are paid by SAID. Those treatment fees are all passed on to the residents and the developer of the project. All new customers within the plan area would not be City of Fairfield customers. They stay Solano Irrigation District customers. All those phone calls, all repairs, any billing, it's all SID. We're talking about treatment of SID's water, and that alone and only for the Middle Green Valley specific plan area. Jessie already pointed out in her great presentation that the council did give the, do you remember the thumbs up workshop in May? I listened to that one online. this one got the thumbs up. We're here tonight to ask for it in advance to move the project forward as with clear direction from your council. So I would be happy to answer any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for your support.
Thank you.
Okay, I guess, Ron, you wanted to speak on item 11, not 10? Okay, and then Joseph Joyce on item 10?
Mayor Moy, City Council. I'm speaking on item 10, not because I oppose the project. I actually do support it. I think it's actually well thought out. And it has been a project that's been out there for a long time. It's the rush or the urge of this process. This process has been agendized. It was been set for a long time. The general plan is in process. It is in favor of this plan. You know, we do have, and again, the uncertainty of the plan. As a candidate for the next cycle, I'd like to be part of that general plan and the vision. The timeliness of it, we do have members of the committee on the council tonight that are being supportive actively by this plan. Sponsors and owners, investors, as recently as this weekend, right? So I think that the timeliness of this hearing is an issue. Other than that, I support it 100%. So I have no issue with the project itself. Thank you.
Thank you.
Did anyone else wish to speak on item 10? Okay, and then there are no hands raised online.
Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and close the public hearing and then bring it back to council. Any comments? All right, then I'll entertain a motion to pass. So moved.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Aye. That was unanimous.
Okay, item 11, public hearing and first reading and introduction of ordinance 2024-08 of the City Council of the City of Fairfield amending Chapter 10E of the Municipal Code, also known as the Commercial Cannabis Business, to allow for administrative changes to the program and operational changes for permittees. And our presenter is Dave Zellers, Director of Economic and Community Development.
Mayor Moy, I'm going to have to recuse myself from this item.
Okay, Councilman. Thank you. Okay, Vice Mayor. Thank you, guys. We'll wait until they leave the chambers, please.
I mean, anybody else? I think you get to go home early if you excuse yourself.
Could you sit here? I'll
No
go.
quorum.
Oh. All right, the rest of us must stay. It shall be written, it shall be done. All right. Mr. Zeller?
All right. Good evening, Mayor and most of the council members.
Yeah.
Let's dive right in, since I'm the last thing standing between you guys and adjournment. So tonight we're here to discuss, as follow-up to a council discussion and direction several meetings ago, to look at amending portions of our city municipal code as it relates to the commercial cannabis businesses here in the city and our permitting of those businesses and applications thereof. Before I go any further, I do want to thank, first of all, our city manager, our finance director, our city attorney, and a member of his team, as well as Dave Feinstein, who has been the administrator for this commercial cannabis program for several years now, and the members of the public and the retailers who also offered comment during this process. For myself, this was certainly a very different assignment, and learning about this very unique industry over this past year here now in California. So first, again, just a little background for everyone present and for the council. Beginning in 2020, with the adoption of Chapter 10E of the Fairfield Municipal Code, the commercial cannabis program began. The city then had an open application period for various different permit opportunities in the retail space, the manufacturing space, and in the testing and laboratory sector, I'll say. Within those three distinct activities, currently there are 3 permitted retail entities active. There was one preliminary approval awarded for a manufacturer, and there was one additional preliminary approval awarded for a retailer. Over the past several months, we've had feedback from the active, two of the active permitted entities in the retail space. We've also had staff conversations about this program and how it's operated thus far. And of course, we came to you as council just a few meetings ago to discuss the program. And the final the final 2 things that brought about that discussion, one was a request by Councilmember Vaccaro to agendize the program and some of the issues around it. And secondarily, the city was approached by a manufacturer interested in seeking the transfer of the current preliminary approval that would allow them to relocate here to Fairfield and begin manufacturing operations. I can tell you this is an established manufacturing entity. Myself and the city manager toured their manufacturing facility about a month and a half ago, and then last week I toured their distribution facility, and without a doubt it was one of the cleanest and one of the most secure distribution facilities I've ever toured in my career, which says quite a bit about, again, this industry and how unique it is, some of the operational challenges that exist, but also the maturity of that organization and their sincerity and their interest to come here to Fairfield. So what I'll walk you through now are what you have in the ordinance, the different amendments, proposed changes. What I've done here on the slides, both for the public and for the council, I've noted what specific section of the ordinance, or I'm sorry, the code would be amended, as well as what section of the ordinance speaks to that amendment. So to begin, we are proposing 2 amendments of the definitions in the code. First and foremost, a restatement of the definition for the what is a commercial cannabis business permit, and that's specifically because later on you'll see an amendment that speaks to changing the renewal frequency for those permits, and so we needed to address that. And then lastly, or I should say, one of the main reasons we're here tonight, from our discussions with you prior, is this matter of preliminary approval. So as you recall from our prior discussion, there were things in the code where they were well defined for permitted businesses, but not if you had that preliminary approval. So to begin, we needed to define what that really meant, and then using that definition, it really feeds into these other changes. One of the other changes, for example, is expirations. So in the code, excuse me, there was no definition or description of how, if you had a preliminary approval, what happened if you did not achieve the things you needed to achieve to receive your permit. And so we've added language, a timeline, both for those existing preliminary approvals that would go into effect with council approval beginning December 1st of this year, and those entities would have 1 year to achieve their permit status. And then moving forward, if the council would ever choose, and I want to make this clear, if the council would ever choose to have an open application period again, that is totally at your discretion. If there were ever available permits, that does not mean anybody could apply. You set the timeline and the manner in which applications could be received. Anyone receiving a preliminary approval after that date of December 1st of this year in future would then have 1 year to achieve what they needed to achieve to receive their permit, and they could request a 1-year extension to that. Also, on the matter of renewals and revocation and suspension, so as I mentioned earlier, we changed the definition of the permit because we changed the frequency of renewals following your recommendations in our discussion session, as well as clarified what is required when someone submits their renewal paperwork. That is at the discretion of the city manager or his designee administering the program, which, as I said, is currently Mr. Dave Feinstein. And upon Dave's retirement, looks like that will be yours truly, until I can fob it off on someone else or whatever I have to do. And then again, because preliminary approval was not well defined in the code as it existed to date, we wanted to add language that spoke to both the revocation or the suspension of the preliminary approval itself. What we have done, based on the advice of our city attorney and his associate who worked on this, we have sought to mirror the language that already existed for what we would do for revocation or suspension of a permit. One of the things we did discuss, and I want to note this, and why we added the expiration for the preliminary approval. Obviously, one of the things that you can often say in these cases is something to the effect of something could be revoked or suspended, particularly when you have something like a preliminary approval, if there hasn't been a good faith effort. But good faith effort is very subjective, and on the advice of our attorneys, they felt that we should use things that are more concrete to protect ourselves as an organization. And then one of the other main issues, again, that brought us here tonight is the concept of a transfer of preliminary approval. So we've created a pathway for that process. Again, it mirrors what the city would do if someone applied to transfer a permit. Two things I want to note here. One, application to transfer a preliminary approval, much like a permit, does not guarantee that the council would accept that and approve that action. Secondarily, and speaking with our city manager this morning, and I'll look to him and the city attorney to add anything to this, because when one never knows and you are the final deciding body for if someone came before you to request a transfer of a permit or preliminary approval, it's important to avoid any prejudicial statements about any particular entity, just to make sure that we don't find ourselves in some trouble on the back end, as always. Additionally, we've added language here on the advice of the finance director to put a specific date when the audited required financials are due. Right now, it just says they're due annually. This aligns with some things that the finance department has to do on an annual basis. And then lastly, the hottest of all the hot topics in here, the one thing we received the most comment on from all the different stakeholders was signage. So in our meetings beginning this year with some of the retailers, we heard opinions on the current signage restrictions. The signage restrictions for the cannabis permitted businesses are more strict than what a regular business would have. Direction from council at the meeting was, well, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should let them have just the same rules as everybody else. But as you recall, there was a gentleman that night, a public commenter, who said he was concerned. He didn't want to see a lot of billboards popping up around town. You drive through some communities, especially you go to other states now, you see them for miles and miles and miles on the highway, cannabis businesses and such. And I know that's not the desire of council to see that. What we've presented here is something we hope will satisfy these competing interests. And we also had one retailer say, hey, we'd love to see it wide open, just have the same signage rules as everybody else. And we had another retailer say, we'd like the things the way they are. We'd like to make sure it stays strong. So what we've done here is, like I said, try to thread that needle a little bit. Allow a little bit more where we've heard some feedback, so they can use the word dispensary, have that green cross symbol that would be in the code. And they could have one temporary sign, so that could be a flag or a banner or some kind of portable sign, only during their business hours, and it has to be used in compliance with the section of our code that speaks already to regulations of those signs. Interestingly enough, this is timely, just this morning at our senior leadership team meeting, we were discussing some things for your council retreat in January. And I believe in January, working together, we're going to come back to you with some things on that temporary and miscellaneous signage ordinance. So we're going to have a chance to clean that up a little bit further coming up in January and have some discussions with you, because we know, for example, on North Texas Street, if you drive along there right now, I'm not saying with certainty there are businesses that might be operating outside that Chapter 25-1304C of our code, but I'm not saying there aren't either, right? So we know there's a little back end work to do on that particular piece, but again, we want it to be fair to those who wanted to see something a little bit more, but at the same time recognizing both the feedback from the public and others, that, hey, we don't want to go too far. Fairfield's always been a more conservative community when it's come to this industry, as I've come to learn. And from seeing the other communities here, even just in our own county, that haven't been, you hear more stories from them of some of the troubles they faced along the way. So this is hopefully a good middle ground. And again, at the end of the day, as we go, we can always change things. We can adjust at the direction of council. So with all of that said, our staff recommendation is to hold the public hearing, waive the full reading, and then move this forward to a second reading for you, which will likely come at your next meeting on October 15th.
Thank you, David Z. I'm going to go ahead and open the public hearing.
And I have two speakers, Josh Lewis, to be followed by Ron Turner.
Hi, Josh.
Hi. Good evening, Madam Mayor and council members. My name is Josh Lewis, and I serve as the Government Relations Manager for Embark, one of this community's 3 operational cannabis retail locations. I'm here tonight to express our gratitude for the steps Fairfield is taking to strengthen the local cannabis market and urge the council to continue forward with only 3 cannabis retail locations. The changes to rules governing signage and renewal periods before you tonight are meaningful. They represent an acknowledgement of the challenging market faced by operators in Fairfield and statewide. By strengthening our ability to advertise and lessening the burden of license renewals through an extended time frame, you have the opportunity to take a real step towards a stronger cannabis market that is better positioned to deliver for Fairfield and its people. The Fairfield free cannabis market has proven that 3, not 4, is the right number of cannabis dispensaries for this market, providing the right level of access for consumers, competition between operators, and a sufficient customer base to ensure long-term viability. This market can only support so many operators while ensuring the success of each and the city's cannabis business program writ large. It is clear that 3 operators is the right number for this city, and adding a 4th will not increase tax revenue. It will only take from existing operators. We are committed to providing jobs, contributing to the city's economic health, and funding valuable community causes, but oversaturation will make it harder for us to do so effectively. The city set a standard with its merit-based process, and that standard has been upheld. Fairfield already has 3 responsible, compliant operators who are committed to this community. Again, we thank Council for these positive steps and strongly encourage you to move forward in confidence with your 3 selected operational cannabis retail locations in order to protect the city's cannabis business program and ensure that Fairfield's market remains stable and competitive. Moving forward with 3 proven cannabis retail operators will best serve this community and the long-term health of the market. Thank you.
Thank you.
And next, Ron Turner.
Good evening. Boy, that was a mouthful. I didn't expect Josh to say that much. But I'm Ron Turner, and I'm the local owner of our Fairfield Embark store. And that I would just like to thank staff for their hard work and their drive and determination to explain to me where we wanted to go as a community. I'm a strong supporter of our transparency and also keeping bad actors out of our community. As you all know, and it's never been a secret, that I have a strong commitment to our law enforcement community to do the right thing, and whatever my store Embark can do to keep Fairfield a safe community for all of us. I support you, and thank you.
Thank you, Ron.
No other speakers, and there is no one online.
All right, I'm going to go ahead then and close the public hearing and bring it back to the council. Yes, go ahead.
Well, thank you, Mayor. That's
Yeah.
great. All right. So thank you, Dave, for the presentation, and thank you, speakers. Just from clarification, so December 1st, 2024 till December 1st, 2025, right? And after that, the license can be revoked, is that correct?
The preliminary approval would expire, would be the technical definition. Now, that said, the preliminary approval could expire because there is no permit yet, there is no license yet, right? That said, we've also added language that if there was something, a violation of the same things that would lead to a permit revocation, that could now happen if this is approved by council for preliminary approval. So we would look at those current preliminary approvals and see if there's anything they've done that would instigate us taking that action at that time, or I believe we have to bring it to you technically for that revocation,
Right.
but yes.
So, okay, one more question. So if another company comes in and they want that, they want that license, but we have the authority to say no, correct?
Right, so if either one or two things could happen. Somebody with a preliminary approval could say, we want to transfer the preliminary approval.
Right.
They would go through a process similar to an application. So again, both they and the council could negotiate on those conditions of approval, so that, you could set whatever conditions of approval you wanted to. They could offer certain things as well. So with the manufacturer that's interested, we've had some conversations to get a sense of where they are, for example. And you could approve that preliminary approval, transfer or not. If, let's say, a preliminary approval expired, and all of a sudden there's a license, a preliminary approval that didn't exist, the council at that time could open an application period for an available license or not. You could decide just never to do it, and then for example, we have 3 retailers that are permitted now. If that preliminary approval that's out there wasn't acted on, expired, is revoked, whatever might happen, you could just say, we're not accepting applications right now, or we are. That's entirely up to you at that time.
Right, I just want to make sure during that 12-month period that is something that's, all of a sudden, this other company comes in and says, hey, we're interested, and or we can at that point say no, right? Okay.
And Madam Mayor, if I may.
Yes, please.
To answer Councilmember Vaccara's question, I want to clarify. City Attorney believes that the ordinance as it currently stands does give you the ability to revoke a preliminary permit, but it's just not defined as a preliminary permit. It talks about conditional permit and the things you need to do to make it a permanent permit. And we believe there is language in there that allows you to revoke it. The ordinance that staff is presenting to you makes clarifications that we think help your ability to do that. But I want to be clear that you don't have to wait for this ordinance. If you don't pass this ordinance, we still think that you have the ability to revoke a permit that hasn't been issued, and actually a permit that has been issued if you find certain conditions. So I just want to make that clear.
Thank you. Any other questions? Councilwoman?
So with regards to that answer, how would the revocation process then look like? Is it agendized, or we do it now? If we were to want to take steps in that direction?
So tonight, I don't think you could, because it hasn't been agendized. So I think, yes, you would need to agendize it, and then staff would write a report. And then I think you could ask council to agendize revoking a particular permit, and then staff would give you various options, and then I think you could act on it once it's agendized and you have a hearing. It would have to be a public hearing. And I'd need to go back and look through the whole process again, but I think it's fairly easy. You would do a public notice a public hearing. We'd obviously notice whoever the permit holder was, or the conditional permit holder was, give them an opportunity to come and be heard so that their due process rights are, protected. And then I think from then the council could take action.
So I'll request to go ahead and agendize the revocation of the 4th license.
Which one?
Which one?
Yes.
Just
to be clear.
Authentic. Authentic.
Do you mean the preliminary approval for retail that has not proceeded to permitting? Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
And I'll second that.
We'll go ahead and agendize that as soon as staff thinks they can get it on there. Get it there to get it done. All right. Okay. Anything else? All right. I'll entertain a motion then to go ahead and approve this.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. And that was unanimous. And that's going to be it. I tonight am going to close the meeting. It's coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the attack by terrorists on Israelis in Israel. And I know our Jewish community is going to be doing some things, and we're also coming up on Rosh Hashanah, which starts Thursday. So I'm going to close in honor of all of those who perished on that day. All right. Thank you.
was a little confusing, but.